I want to talk to you about changing careers and all you need to know to do it successfully. Because guys, let me tell you, I have changed careers more than anyone I know, and I have to say, I am not so sure I'm done doing it, quite honestly. And apparently, I'm not alone. Remote and hybrid work are here to stay. More and more companies are offering remote positions to try and lure workers into accepting the jobs because they've realized people just aren't willing to go back to the way things were before the pandemic. That means that your location won't be an issue for that career change. So if you're still holding on to that job you hate because it's close to where you live, how about a career you love that you get to do in your yoga pants in the comfort of your own home? Or anywhere else in the world. Being able to do that is quite priceless, let me tell you. Take it from someone who has been doing it for a while now. In fact, let me sum up all the career changes I've made throughout the years, okay? So fresh out of college, I worked in marketing, which was my major. I worked at a marketing agency, a marketing department for a big bank, then an engineering company. Then of course, I ended up quitting marketing altogether and went on to enter fishing log data. That was kind of fun. Okay, so after the fishing logs, I opened my own business and had a gig job for a couple of years, then burnout caught up with me and I had to close it, and I ended up working for a Swedish furniture company, one that starts with an I and ends with an A. Let's see, what was next? Next, I became a social media manager for a big international publisher. Hold on, I'm almost finished here. And I became a school manager for a coding school for kids, and I became a full-time blogger, and now I'm a YouTuber. There, all done. No wonder my parents worried so much, right? But here's the thing, I knew it in my heart, deep down, that none of these were the right careers for me. That I was only taking most of these jobs because I was scared, because I felt insecure about my worth, and because I was so invested in making my parents proud. So what I mean by all this is never be afraid to change careers and look for something that suits you better. It doesn't matter how old or young you are. If you spent all that time studying to do something you no longer want to do, if you've been doing something for decades and think you're wasting all those years only to start over, think about the years you still have left. The years you will be wasting by doing something you don't want instead of doing something you actually love to do. It is never too early and it is never too late. And quite honestly, right now, it's never been easy. And here are some things you should definitely think about doing to make that transition even smoother. Don't worry, I'm not going to tell you to spruce up your CV or to network or to actually apply for the jobs because those are kind of no-brainers, right? What I'm talking about are specific things you can do to help you find that new career path and to make sure you are the #1 candidate when you apply for that new career opportunity. Now, the first thing you need to do is make a list of your natural strengths. Think about things that come easy to you, things you love doing and that other people compliment you on, no matter how simple or how far-fetched they may sound. Hey, I took my friends' feedback about how I gave great advice and how I made everything sound so simple when I explained them and turned it into a profitable blogging career, so you never know. You can also look back at your career so far and take note of the things you did that you loved and the things that you did that you hated doing, right? This is actually more important than you think because by identifying the things you like and dislike doing, you can narrow your choices down a bit. Imagine you hate dealing with paperwork or talking on the phone and are considering a couple of career options but can't really decide. Removing the options that involve paperwork and talking on the phone can actually help you to make that decision, right? Now, one more thing that will help you prioritize your options is to take note of what motivates you. Now, you can make a list of things you want to get out of your career and either pick your top 3 or organize them by importance. My top 3 would definitely be, it needs to be creative, it needs to be flexible, I need to be able to organize my hours as I choose, and I need to have autonomy and set my own goals. Of course, being paid well would also go a long way, but it's definitely not something I would choose over these 3. So, what are yours? A good work-life balance, for the work you do to help others, to have meaning, to work as a team, whatever it is, list it. Now, with this list complete, you should be able to get a much clearer picture of what your next career looks like. Time to do some research. Try and look at what your broad industries are out there and which ones you'd be interested in working, like technology, healthcare, food, retail, marketing, etc., etc., etc. Then, within your chosen industries, start looking at job titles, at what they entail, what are the tasks, the requirements, what other people's experiences have been, that sort of thing. If after that, there is a clear career path that excites you, carry on. For me, even though I quickly became disenchanted with what I had learned in college, and for a long time I thought I wanted nothing to do with any of it, I always ended up going back to communication, to connecting with others, to creating content in whatever form. So I knew what industry I belonged in, no question. Now, you also need to determine if in order to follow that career you have your eye on, you will need to acquire new skills, maybe even do some sort of formal training. And this can mean anything, from learning how to work with specific tools to learning and understanding specific terminology and processes. You can even go back to school or obtain a certification. I don't know, if it's something you're really passionate about, it's worth it. A couple of years into my career swapping, I ended up taking a post-degree in branding that was really useful, not only when I created my own business, but also now with the blog and the YouTube channel. Now more than ever, bosses are valuing transferable skills over formal training or even experience. And by transferable skills, I mean skills and abilities that are relevant and helpful across different areas of life, socially, professionally, and at school, for example. So identifying and highlighting those transferable skills when looking for a new job and a change in careers is one of the most important things you can do. They can go from communication, problem solving, or collaboration to customer service experience or tech knowledge. For example, my work at the marketing agency taught me a lot about graphic design, which then came in really handy when I was a social media manager, and practically all the skills I developed were good for owning my own business because you kind of need to wear all hats, right? Moving on, if at all possible, you should definitely try and find a mentor, someone who's already doing what you want to do and who can help you navigate the path to getting there. It saves you time and a lot of heartache because you won't be doing it blindly. A mentor can provide much needed insight as well as feedback on your work, but most importantly, it can help you get in touch with the right people and open doors for you. Now, the easiest way to do this is if you have to take any kind of training for that career. Finding a teacher to help you is the easiest course of action. Some courses even offer the possibility of setting you up with a mentor, which is perfect, really. Another way to do it is to reach out. Like on LinkedIn, for example, sending an email, making a phone call, whatever you think is best. Still not telling you to network though, that is completely different. Though networking would be a good way to find a mentor. So after all this, what do you say? Are you ready to reshuffle your career, start over in a completely different industry, or fulfill a lifelong dream of doing something completely different?